Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Leticia, and it's been a while since I made a video. Um, Actually, I had just realized that it's been a while since I've made a story time video, and I've also realized that I had never actually explained how I got proposed. And in a couple of days, actually, it will be 1 year since my fiance has proposed to me. And a couple days ago, my fiance and I had just celebrated our 3-year anniversary, which is so insane to us because it is the longest relationship that either one of us has been in. With him, I think his longest relationship before me was maybe like a year or maybe just like a couple of months, like maybe like 6 months, I think. And I've never had a boyfriend before him, so he is just my longest relationship, my one and only relationship I've ever been in. So I figured, with us being together for 3 years and then us almost getting married, and with it being 1 year since he proposed to me, I figured maybe I should explain how he proposed to me. It's going to be quite a long story, so forgive me. I just feel like I need to explain some of the details that happened in between, and I just feel like it kind of makes sense if I just kind of start from the very beginning and then just kind of add in some of the details that happened the day before, or the day that he proposed to me. So here we go. It kind of started way back in 2017, I would say. He had actually, I think he was off that day and I was working or something like that. I can't quite remember. But the thing is that he came home and he had a package. Well, he had a bag and it had like paper stuff, and he goes, so I have a surprise for you. And I go, okay. And he goes, here. He hands me the paperwork, and turns out that he had booked us a mini vacation to Branson with Blue Green or Bluegrass. I can't remember the company. And I think right now it's kind of not relevant. It's that vacation company that stays at Bass Pro, and they always try to get you to stay like a couple days, like in a hotel, or they try to give away like free gift cards or stuff like that. I think it's Blue Green. I'm pretty sure it's Blue Green. So he told me that he had booked a mini vacation with them to Branson, and that we have the resort, like our hotel picked out and how many days, and he was giving like $150 gift cards just for signing up and all of that. And I was excited. He said that we're going to spend our 2-year anniversary there, and that we're just gonna take a couple days and just have like a mini vacation, just the two of us, and celebrate us. So I was really looking forward to that. So that happened November 2017. Then fast forward to, I believe it was June. Yes, June. And it was time for us to go to Branson and start our mini vacation. This is the day before he proposed to me, the day before, on a Saturday. I believe it was June 2nd when this happened. We checked into our hotel. We decided that we're just going to relax and chill a little bit and kind of like look around to see what we can find or do for the next couple days that we're going to be there. And we decided that we wanted to get some snacks and drinks, and we drove up to Price Chopper, which is kind of a grocery store, a local grocery store. And we started shopping around. We were looking and just finding things that we can have in the hotel. And as we're checking out, I see this little booth where they have like an insane deal where you can get two tickets to Dolly Parton Stampede and 2 tickets to Titanic Museum for $40, I believe. So I showed my fiance and I said, hey, we should go ahead and figure out what do we need to do to get those tickets, because those tickets are pretty pricey to begin with, and we just, might as well just do something while we're there for 40 bucks. And he went to figure that out while I was paying for our snacks. And I think it was the company, I can't remember what it was. It was something Diamonds. I can't remember, but it's something Diamonds. And the guy was really nice. He was very, very informative. He was very sweet. He was very nice. And he helped us through the process. And he basically tells us that the only way how we can get these tickets is to sit through a timeshare. If you don't know what a timeshare is, basically it's you find this like vacation people, they try to sell you like vacation packets, and they just like they encourage you to stay at their resorts, and they try to sell you, basically they try to sell you vacations, and they give you like all these like super great deals and discounts and all of that. But the only way how you can do that is if you sit 2 hours just to hear them talk about why vacationing is important, the price of vacation packages, and to just look at their hotel rooms or their condos or whatever it is that they have available. And yes, it does take 2 hours. Surprisingly, it does take 2 hours just to hear all of that and just get your tickets or whatever it is that they are giving away. So they tell us that basically all we have to do is sit at a timeshare for 2 hours, and then at checkout they will give us our tickets. So we paid our 40 bucks. We ended up saving like over $100 on these tickets. We were so happy. And then we go back to our hotel room and we just chill out and get some rest because we had to wake up early to go to this timeshare meeting. So it was the next day, and for me, I wasn't expecting anything. I honestly just thought that it was going to be another regular day. And little did I know that it was actually going to be the day that my fiance was going to propose to me. He had no idea how he was going to do it. He just knew that that was going to be the day that he wanted to propose. So we woke up, we got ready, we just kind of started driving around, see what we could find to do later that wouldn't break the bank. And we go to our timeshare meeting, and the lady who was there assisting us, she was very friendly, she was very sweet. I actually really liked her. She was showing us around, she was showing us like the condos that they have. And then we had to sit down for this meeting, hear this guy talk about how something traumatic happened to him, and then he realized that life is too short, and he just decided to vacation more. Which, by the way, spoiler, when you go to a timeshare meeting, they all have a story to tell. They all have a story where like something traumatic happened to them, where they realize that life is too short, and they realize that they should start vacationing more. Honestly, that's what the meeting is all about. And it honestly takes like 45 to an hour of them just talking about why it's important to vacation more. It's really pointless, honestly, and it's just a waste of time. But they know that you're there for the free tickets or whatever it is that they're giving away, so they take their time. So so we listened to this guy talking about how vacationing changed his life and how that's the reason why he loves doing what he does now, I guess. And then after that, they decided to take us to this little room where they talk to us about like the pricing and what they do and how whatever. So we're just kind of sitting there. This lady, she's doing fine. Like, she wasn't struggling. There's no need that she needed help. Like, she wasn't giving off any signs. Like, we were able to understand everything that she was talking about. And then her boss came by, and he like just completely ruins it for her. She was in the middle of like explaining how we can get started if we wanted to, and he just comes by, ruins it for her. I don't know, he started talking about like what we do and where we work, and he found out that we both work for a Bass Pro. And then he started talking about how he used to work with Johnny Morris and how like they used to go golfing together and all this like crazy stories. And then like he literally derails her just to start talking about Johnny Morris for like about 10 minutes, leaves, and this poor girl is just kind of sitting there like, oh my gosh, like I don't even remember where I was at. And so she was just looking at her papers, trying to pick up where she left off, and kind of went from there. So she started talking about like financing and what we can do and the monthly payments. And my fiance asked a question, and she didn't know the answer to it. So she was like, you know what, let me go get my boss and we will talk about this. And little does she know, my fiance had been timing them from the very beginning. The second that they had called us over, from the very beginning of our timeshare meeting, my fiance had been timing them just to say, you know what, you guys are going over your time, because the guy from the night before had told us that it's only going to be 2 hours, not a minute after. And so my fiance was holding him accountable, and he had his timer on, and we were getting close to like the 2-hour mark. And she grabs him, as she grabs her boss, and she's like, okay, well, he's kind of busy, but he will come in like just a few seconds or like in a few moments, and he should be able to come over. My fiance goes, okay, well, I'm just, it's just like, if he's not able to come, that's okay, because I know that we're getting close to our 2-hour mark, and we just have things that we got to do today. So is there like a way how we can speed this up? And she was like freaking out. And so finally her boss comes in, answers our question, and he's like really pressuring us into trying to purchase a vacation package. And we're like, you know what, right now it's just not the time, like we just cannot do it, I'm sorry, but no. And oh my gosh, this jerk, he goes, okay, so let me ask you this, what's holding you back? Like what is making you have second thoughts and not want to buy, not get involved in this vacation package? And my fiance goes, well, we want to buy a house. We would like to buy a house and live in a bigger place than we live right now in our tiny apartments. I just bought a car this year. Or was it this? Yes, he goes, I just bought a car this year. And, we're trying to save up so my lady, can get a new car. And we're also wanting to get a puppy, like a dog. So it's just, we have other priorities than just buying this vacation package. And he goes, okay, well, those things can always come in time. But like, when will you have a time where you will be able to remember all the memories that you shared? And my fiance goes, yes, that's true, like I understand that, but it's just not my priority right now. And then this guy goes, okay, all right, just have one question for you both. Are you guys married? And we go, no. And he looks at my fiance and he goes, I get it. You have commitment issues. That makes sense. Without even looking at each other, my fiance and I just like stiffed up and we were angry and we were just ready to just get the heck out of there. And he's like trying to like convince us after what he just said. He tried to convince us to still join. And my fiance looked at his phone and he goes, I'm sorry, but our time here is done. You guys are over your 2 hours and we got to get rolling. So if we can just get out of here, I would greatly appreciate that. And so they walk off, they left. We had to do like an evaluation. We gave them a poor evaluation. The girl was amazing. She was awesome. But it was mostly that guy that jacked it up for her. And for us, because we were honestly kind of liking them, so we were just like, we're not going to recommend this to anybody. We just want to get out of here and get our tickets. So we checked out. They gave us our tickets. We made our reservations for Dolly Parton. And then we head off. We get into the car and we were like, holy cow, what a jerk. Like, who in the world does he think he is to say that we have commitment issues? Because first of all, he has no idea who we are. Second of all, we've been together for 2 years and we have been talking about getting married. So what on earth makes him think that we have commitment issues just because we're not willing to commit to a vacation package when that's not our priority at the moment? Like, we have other things to worry about than to just spend our money on vacations. Like, yes, vacationing is awesome and we would love that, but we have other things to worry about before we can start worrying about making payments on vacations that we may not even go on. So we were just angry. We were furious. But we left. We didn't care about it. And then we head over to Dolly Parton Stampede. That was our dinner reservations that we had made. We go there, we have fun, and then after the first show, we head back to our hotel. And my fiance is in the bathroom, and he goes, oh my gosh, babe, have you noticed that this, like, you know, the mirrors in the bathroom is definitely selfie worthy? Like, you can straight up take an amazing selfie in this bathroom. And I was like, oh my gosh, really? My conceited butt believed him. And I went inside and I was like, oh my gosh, you're totally right. Like, with the vanity light, like, it really creates like circle in my eye. Like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. You know what? You're totally right. Like, when I have a chance, I'm going to take a couple of selfies. Then I walk out of the bathroom and my fiance goes, are you ready? And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, let's go then. And we're in the elevator and he's like, okay, like, let's go to the Branson Landing. And I go, okay, sure, let's do that. Like, it's been a while since I've been there. So we go to we go into his car. We're typing it in his GPS, and his GPS says, your estimated time arrival is 10 minutes. However, it will close by the time you get there. So we're like, oh, that's a bummer. And my fiance was just quiet. He didn't say anything. He was just like, honestly, very silent. And I go, oh, I know. What if we go miniature golfing at Hollywood? Because there's like this Hollywood themed miniature golf that I have been dying to go on. Well, not go on, but to go play. And I go, so what if we go to the Hollywood miniature golf? Like, that would be fun. Like, we should totally do that. And he goes, what if we just drive around for a little bit, see what we can find? And I was like, okay, fine. But if we don't find anything, can we like go back to the miniature golf? And he goes, yeah, we'll do that. I'm like, okay then. And so we go driving on the strip, and then he sees the Branson Ferris wheel. And he goes, "Oh, hey, look, there's a Ferris wheel. Do you want to go on that?" And I have no idea why, but my stomach dropped. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, why not? And I feel like my heart was pounding. And I think it had to do most with the fact that I was starting to feel myself getting an anxiety attack. I have no idea why, but sometimes, like, when I go on Ferris wheels or when I go on, like, movements that goes, like, really slow, I get nervous. I have no idea why, to be honest. I know that I am diagnosed with anxiety disorder, NOS, anxiety NOS disorder. NOS means no other specific, meaning I get anxiety for, like, certain things, but not others, if that makes sense. So, like, there are certain things where I do get major anxiety, and then there are others where I'm just, like, totally okay with. It makes absolutely no sense, but that's just me. And so for whatever reason, I was starting to feel myself getting anxiety or very, very anxious. But at the moment, I was actually making a video on some of the things that you can do in Branson and just putting it together so I can upload it on YouTube, which I didn't do, by the way. And so I was trying to talk to myself to just go along with it and to just do it for YouTube. Honestly, I was like, you know what, like, this would be really good. This would be like a really, really, really good way to take videos to get a good look of the city and the sunrise or the sunset, because the sun was about to set. So I was like, this would be a really good opportunity, like, just to do it for that. Like, if you want to do a really good video of Branson and what to do in Branson, this would be a really great way to do it. So I was like trying to get myself pumped up for it, but I was still starting to get so nervous. And I actually still have some of those videos, which I'm going to insert right now, so you can see that I am, like, filming this video of the Ferris wheel and, you know, how big it looked, and my fiance buying the tickets. And I'm just, like, trying my hardest to make it look like it's going to be a really great video. And so I'm trying my best to make it as professional as possible and just really try my best to make it look as good as possible so I can get a really good shot and a really good video, even though I was just recording with my iPhone. And we go on it, like, they take our photos, we go on it, and I don't know why, but my anxiety, like, immediately kicked in, and, like, we started going up, and I think we were about 10 feet up in the air, and my heart just started skipping a beat, and I almost couldn't breathe. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this anymore. And my fiance noticed that I was, like, really quiet. And he goes, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I don't feel fine right now." And he was like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I'm starting to get, like, anxiety attack." And he goes, "But it's so amazing up here. It's beautiful." And, like, I closed my eyes and I was like, "I'm sorry, but I just can't. Like, going up freaks me out. I'll probably open my eyes once we're up there and as we're going down. But, like, going up is what scares me the most." And he goes, "But babe, it just looks so beautiful up here. Like, why would you ever want to close your eyes?" I'm like, "I don't know, babe. I just want to get home." And I was, like, freaking out, and my poor fiance was, like, trying his hardest to, you know, to, like, calm me down, to make it as romantic as possible. And I'm just like messing it up. I'm just like, no, I just want to get off. Like, I really hate this. Like, I want to get off right now. Like, oh my gosh, I just want to get off. And like, we finally get to the top. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Okay, let's go down now. And I'm like trying to take videos, but like it's not coming out really well. And we finally get to the bottom, like we're at the very top. We're finally starting to like go down. I'm like, oh my gosh, good. Like, this is what I've been waiting for. Like, we can just get this over with and just be done and go miniature golfing. And so I see that we're really starting to get to the bottom, and since it doesn't stop, you have to like really get off as quickly as possible. And so we are just about to get to the bottom, and I grab my purse and I'm like ready to just go and get off. And there's this lady at the bottom who was working there, and she goes, so do you guys want to go for another round? And I'm looking at my fiance and I'm like, please say no. I didn't tell him that, but I just kept thinking, please say no. And then he looks at me and he looks at the lady and he goes, yeah, we'll go for one more round. I'm like, oh, this guy is trying to kill me. And so I look at him and I'm like, really? And he goes, yeah, let's go for one more round. I'm like, oh my gosh, you suck and I hate it right now. And so I do the exact same thing as I was trying to do, only like the second time around, I didn't just get anxiety. I had a full-on panic attack. I have no idea why, because I kept telling myself I did it, like I was able to go through it once. I can do it again. And I was like, and this time, not that I'm going up again, I will have another chance to film and get some really good clips while I'm up in the air. But for whatever reason, I just couldn't. And I'm like closing my eyes and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to get off. I really want to get off. And like, I just started crying. I was full blast on crying. And I actually started saying I hate you. Like, my fiance is like, oh, come on, babe. Like, you did this just a couple minutes ago. You can do it. I'm like, no, I hate you. And he goes, really? You hate me? And he has a video of me actually saying this. And he goes, really? You hate me? And I was like, well, I mean, I still love you. I really do. But I also hate you for making me go on this. And so, well, he stopped filming. And I closed my eyes and I just honestly couldn't. The whole entire time as we were going up, I was just crying and closing my eyes. We finally make it to the top, and I actually caught this video. I was trying to trying to get a video of the sunset and everywhere around, and my fiance said this.
You can do anything up here, babe.
And I didn't realize what was going on. I had closed my eyes when it happened because my anxiety just like completely took over. I knew that I was okay, that I was safe, but my mind kept telling me really bad things. It was telling me that we need to get off immediately. And I was just really freaking out. And I remembered that like I was just trying to close my eyes, and I figured like if I close my eyes throughout the whole entire time, maybe before I even know it, we would be almost to the ground. And then he proposed to me. He had the box open with the ring, and the box that he had was actually it had a little light and it was shining on the ring. And as soon as he asked me if I wanted to marry him, I opened my eyes and I was like, are you for real? He goes, yeah, I'm for real. And I said, are you, like, is this a joke? Like, am I getting pranked? And he goes, no, I'm not joking. I really do want to marry you. I would love for you to be my wife. And then I started crying again. I started crying again and I said, oh my gosh, yes. And he, I put the ring on. I started taking pictures and my anxiety just kind of went away. Well, not really. It didn't go away until like I officially got off the Ferris wheel. My anxiety did go down a little bit after he asked me. And it was it was probably the best proposal ever. I've shared my story with like a couple of people, and some people are like, that is horrible. Why would he ever make you go on a Ferris wheel and make it go through all of that if he knows that it gives you anxiety? And I'm like, well, here's the thing though. He didn't know that Ferris wheels will give me an anxiety attack. And I didn't know that it was going to give me anxiety. We both didn't know. Like, if I didn't know it would give me anxiety, that I get panic attacks when I go on Ferris wheels, imagine him. He knows way less. He doesn't know what gives me anxiety and what doesn't. I don't even know what gives me anxiety and what doesn't. So he just honestly didn't know. And when he went around the second time, he was just honestly really trying to make it work. He had other ways on proposing to me. He had a plan A, plan B, and a plan C. Plan A, it was to go to a park and propose to me at a bridge with one of his co-workers taking photos from a distance. But he wanted it to be a little bit more intimate. And then plan B was actually to propose to me in front of the fountains at the Branson Landing, but the GPA told us that they were about to close, and by the time we get there, it will already be closed. So there was no point in going to the Branson Landing when it was already closing. So plan C was the Ferris wheel, and me being who I am completely ruined that for him. So it has nothing to do with the fact that he made me do something that made me cry or that made me feel anxious when he didn't even know that. He was running out of options and he just hated waiting. He honestly hated waiting, and he didn't want to wait another minute. He just wanted to propose to me. And honestly, I'm so happy that our proposal went the way how it did, because it honestly, it shows our relationship. It shows how our relationship is. He's always trying to plan something and surprise me with it, and he's always wanting to do something romantic and very sweet and very subtle, and then here I come and I mess it up for him. And so even though I mess it up and I do things that he wouldn't think of, he is still doing his very best to make it romantic and to do whatever he can to do what he was wanting to do with me. And it's not until like after I've done like overreacting and being dramatic that I realize, oh, I guess I probably should have let you. So like it honestly goes with our relationship, and it's my favorite story to tell, because it's, at the time, yes, I was freaking out, but now thinking about it, it just makes me laugh that I was freaking out and he still proposed to me after all of that. After me, crying and freaking out and basically ruining his proposal, he still proposed to me. So like, it's like the ultimate I love you even though you ruined everything, but I still love you sort of story. So that's how I got proposed. It's not your typical romantic, well, it kind of was romantic, but if I hadn't had the panic attack and would have just like calmed down, it would have gone absolutely perfect. But it still went perfect either way. Every proposal happens based on the relationship. It just honestly reflects on on how your relationship goes. If you have a super romantic, flowers everywhere, rose petals everywhere, the guy in the background playing violin, then cool. Like, that just shows that you guys have a really good relationship. If you have your proposal where everything just falls apart, but you're still able to laugh at it, then that just shows that in your relationship you guys just laugh about all the mishaps that happens, but you're still together. Nothing's going to ever break you guys apart. You guys are still strong. You just gotta laugh it off. And there's really no perfect proposal. There really isn't. And it bothers me when people get upset with how my fiance proposed to me, because there's no perfect proposal. There's no perfect relationship. You know, every couple is different, and every couple has their own way of a perfect proposal. I may have ruined my fiance's proposal, but it's still perfect in every way, honestly. So that is it. That is how I got proposed. I hope you had a good laugh, because honestly, I still do. After a year, I still get a kick out of it. It's probably my favorite story to share, and I just really hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. So give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed my story time, and comment down below, how did you get proposed? If you are engaged or if you're already married, comment down how you got proposed, and was it exactly what you had planned or what you thought it would be, or did it go completely opposite? I would love to hear your story. I love hearing proposal stories. So I will see you guys next time with a new video. Peace, love, and hair grease.